Yeah. Morning all. So myself, I'm Vijay. Like I hold like 15 plus years of experience, which includes nearly 8 plus years of experience in Python environment. So my experience includes design, development, and implementation of Python and Django based applications. Well versed in implementing different Python libraries like NumPy, CP, Pandas, PyTables, right? So as part of today's demo, I'm going to cover the following topics. So before I start, can anyone please confirm whether my voice is clear, whether the screen is visible or not, right? Yes.
Yes,
Fine, thank you. So why Python? Already we have got many programming languages, right? Why again Python required? And Python is not a kind of technology which is very recently introduced. It was introduced in the year 1989, right? 30 years back, more than 30 years ago, it was released. Why all of a sudden Python has got a great boom? If you talk about like if you go back like 10 years or 15 years ago, no one are aware that there was a programming language like Python. Why all of a sudden Python has got a great boom? Reasons which makes Python super popular, right? And who can learn Python? Are there any prerequisites for learning Python? No, there is no prerequisites for learning Python. Anybody can update with Python because Python statements look like normal English statements. It's not as complex as other programming languages. It looks very simple, and simple syntax is given by Python. How Python was built and how Python was derived, right? And Python real-time applications. What kind of applications are getting developed today by using Python? What kind of applications getting developed using Python? Python usage. Who are using Python today? Top, okay, Python features. Topmost applications built by using Python and topmost companies using Python. What are the various, okay, and Python comparison with other programming languages. So if you want to check like coding wise, complexity wise, length wise, you can check how this Python statements look as compared with other programming languages. Okay, reasons why Python is suddenly super popular, and Python scope and job market. Python scope and job market, right? And even not only like current, in the future also, how many years the Python will last in the market, right? So if you update with any technology, you should also see how many years the technology will be in the market. Yeah, starting with why Python, right? Why Python? Python is a general purpose programming language. So I'll be just briefing you one by one. It's a general purpose programming, multi-programming features involved, right? High level language, interpreted language, user-friendly programming language, right? Yes. If I talk coming to this general purpose programming, Python is a general purpose programming language. Okay. So before Python, we have got some programming languages. If you heard about the languages like Pascal, Fortran, COBOL, right? These languages are purpose-based languages. They cannot be used for all the purposes, right? These are purpose-based, only for a specific purpose. We are using them only for specific purpose, like Pascal for complicated mathematical applications, Fortran for scientific applications, COBOL for business applications. Means they are used for a specific purpose, not for all the purposes, right? But a language which is suitable for developing any kind of application, such a language we call it as general purpose programming language. So Python is such a kind of programming where we can develop any kind of application like web automation applications, web applications, animation applications, gaming applications, embedded applications, desktop applications, right? GUI applications, any kind of applications can be developed by using Python. It's not for a specific purpose. It is not a purpose based. It's a general purpose programming for developing any kind of application. That's the reason today Python is widely used in not only in the different high-end technologies as an implementation language, like data science with Python means machine learning with Python, right? Big data or Spark with Python, we like PySpark, and writing automation scripts within this AWS, robotics, IoT, and web applications development using Python, right? Yes. multi-programming features. I'll give a labor example. If you want to launch a new product in the market to attract the customers, right? For example, if you're launching a new mobile phone, to attract the customers, what features we want to see, right? What all the features we see in different other mobiles, all the features, if you're embedding into a single piece, and if you release going to attract the customers, in the same manner, Python is a kind of programming where we see the features of different other programming languages within it, like procedural oriented, object oriented, scripting, modular programming features, right? That's the reason we call Python as a hybrid language. Yeah. High level language. Python is a high level. Okay. There are two types of languages, right? There are two types of languages. Low level languages, yes. Low level language, yes. Low level and high level languages. Low level languages. Example of low level language. Assembly level language or machine level language, right? Assembly level or machine level language. These languages, if you talk about this assembly level languages, right? They are not human understandable. They are not human understandable. They are not human understandable. They are not portable. Machine independent, machine dependent, sorry. Machine dependent means they are not human understandable, they are not portable and machine dependent, right? They cannot run on all the hardwares and all the operating systems. Yeah, 1 second. Yeah, some of them facing problem with the audio, right? Yes. So okay, Assembly level languages, not human understandable, not portable and machine dependent, right? And high level languages like Python, high level language like Python, right? They are human understandable, they are portable and machine independent. Portable and machine independent. They can run on all the hardware and all the operating system. Okay. Okay. This is Python is a high level language which is easily understandable. The statements look like normal English statements. They are portable and machine independent, can run on all the hardware and all the operating system. Interpreted Python is an interpreted language, like interpretation, line by line execution, which makes debugging easy, right? So we have got language compilation and interpretation languages, right? Compilation, interpretation. Compilation, right? Example of compilation, C language. For interpretation, Python. So here in compilation, if you've got some lines of code, 10 lines of code, it executes the entire code at once. And displays the errors, right? If any. In Python, it won't execute at once. Statement by statement execution, which makes debugging easy, right? If you get error in this line, it won't execute the remaining statements in Python. An user-friendly programming language which provides simple syntaxes which looks like normal English statements, right? Yes. Okay. So Python is a hybrid language. Python has got features. So Python has what features? Python has procedural oriented programming features, procedural oriented programming, right? Procedural oriented programming features like example C language, and it has got object oriented programming features. Object oriented programming features, example like C++, Java, right? Scripting features, example like shell script. Modular programming features like Modulo 3. It has got features from multiple programming languages. Means it has taken some advantages from one programming, some other advantages from other programming. Example of this Modulo 3 we have got. So if we talk about this object-oriented programming, if we talk about this Java, right? Java programmers or developers are strictly restricted to use only object-oriented programming. But Python with object-oriented, without object-oriented, with modular programming, we can develop many varieties of applications, right? Yes. Okay. Scripting, right? We are writing many automation scripts today within this AWS, IoT, robotics, right? And modular programming, right? Today Python has got a great boom because of this modular programming. 89,300 inbuilt modules Python provides for various domains, right? Whatever domain you are from, Python provides a module. Python provides a module. For example, if you're from data science background, right, Python has got separate modules for this data science like NumPy, Pandas, Matplotlib, CP, Scikit-learn, right? Separate modules. And even for big data, if you're from big data background, Python has got separate modules for every environment. We don't need to write huge codings using these modules within which we have got many built-in functions. We can use this perform the operations without write the huge codes, right? And for even for networking, Python has got separate modules. And for testing or test cases. And for operating system kinds of activities for OS. The name of the module itself is OS, right? For operating system, right? The name of the module itself is OS. And if you're from a database background, if you're from database background, right? For every database, for example, for Oracle, a separate module Python is providing to connect with Python to connect with this any database. It should have some module like for Oracle CX underscore module, CX underscore Oracle module. And for MySQL, we have got a module called PyMySQL. PyMySQL is the module, right, to connect. So it is very simple Python connecting with the databases, right? Not like other programming language. Just 1 to 2 minutes of discussion is enough, right, to know how they are getting connected. So the modules can easily connect with any database. Even for SQL server, we have got PyODBC. PyODBC is the module. So not only this, right, for different file formats, different models Python is provided. If you want to work with Excel workbook, for creating, just I'll write 3 to 4 lines of Python code and I'll execute that code, right? Go and check Excel workbook gets created, Excel file gets created with whatever name I've specified at whatever location I've provided, it is going to. And we can also create PDF files by using Python, creating PDF files using Python by writing some Python statements and executing. We can check a PDF file gets created. We can read data, we can write data, right? And not only like this XML files, JSON files, and if for statistics, we have got many statistic modules available. For mathematical, math module is available. For generating graphs, any types of graphs, right? Normal graphs, bar graphs, histograms, scatter plots, stack plots, for any type of graph, right? For generating any types of graphs, right? So it's very simple generating graphs in Python. Python is the only language by writing statements generating a graph, right? Yes. So, okay. In this way, thousands of modules Python has got. It doesn't mean that you need to have the idea about all these modules. No, depending upon your domain, right? You'll be exploring only those domain specific modules. Apart from that, you'll be learning about some commonly used modules and how to create our own modules in Python. Okay. What kind of applications we can develop today by using Python? Python mostly used for developing what kind of applications? Python real-time applications, right? You need to know what kind of applications we are developing today by using Python. Python real-time applications, right? Yes. Web applications, lot of web applications are getting developed today by using Python, right? So you may ask, from last 20-25 years, we have got Java.NET used for developing web applications. Why again Python required? Why again Python is are required. So Python at a rapid speed, we can develop web applications using Python, like using a framework like the Django framework. Using framework like the Django, right? We can develop many applications. And secondly, Python is mostly used in automation applications. Automation applications using, okay, using technologies like the data science, IoT, robotics, using data science, IoT, robotics, right? Yes, AWS, all this, right? For automation applications. For IoT, right? If you talk about IoT today, everything through online banking, online shopping, online exams, online healthcare, online communications. So IoT is a physical network or device embedded with software, sensors, electronics for exchanging the data, collecting the data, and controlling the things from the place where we are, right? Yes. So in the coming days, we see a lot of applications related to IoT. Okay. And if you come to this data science, right? Data science deals with data analysis, data predictions, data classifications, clusterings, recommendations, right? Yes. So it's a blend of technique. Data science is a blend of technique. The main technique what we see here is EML, machine learning. For machine learning, for implementing that, we require a language to code. So we require a language, right, to code. So Python is the mostly chosen. So to code all this, we require a language, I said. So to code it, we require a language like Python. Python is the mostly chosen, mostly used to programming language for implementing this machine learning, deep learning, right? Where Python provides many modules, right? It provides many modules like for plottings, visualizations, for all this, right? And even for AWS, Python is one of the best choice, right? AWS in not only within this, Python acts as a remedy for any problem within the software field. Within this AWS to decrease the time taken, if you talk about AWS DevOps, right? So it is decreases the time taken for the life cycle of this. So where Python provides many libraries, thousands of libraries it has got. Apart from this, today Python is also used for big data environment, right? Big data environment for big data applications. Lot of, for example, the name big data, you should have seen like KBs of data, MBs of data, GBs of data. But beyond that, we have got terabytes, petabytes, exabytes, zettabytes, etabytes. Okay. From TB onwards, we say like big data or huge data, right? Yes. Do you think like petabytes of data is getting generated? Petabytes of data, is it getting generated or not? Means yes, generating. Not many applications are generating petabytes. Means one petabyte equal to 1024 TBs. Okay. So we have examples of these petabytes of data generations like social media networks like Facebook, like it has got millions and trillions of users in a minute. How many posts are getting circulated? What should be the storage capacity of Facebook to store all the posts and videos, right? Yes. So it will data generated in petabytes. And not only like if you take 1 minute transactions, if you just take 1 minute transaction, right? 1 minute, in a minute, how many Facebook posts, Twitter tweets, in a minute, right? Yes. Google queries, YouTube videos upload, right? YouTube videos upload. What should be the storage capacity to store all, to handle all the everyone? You are just uploading this YouTube videos. So what should be the storage capacity to store all these videos? Millions and trillions of users using email or Gmail messages. Email or Gmail messages, right? What should be the storage capacity to store all these messages, right? And even like bank transactions, per day, per week, per month, per year, right? Each and everything need to be stored, right? Yes. Similarly for telecom transactions, and even for e-commerce sites like Amazon, Flipkart, all this they are generating huge data for this big data, right? For huge data. So for example, Google generating nearly 450 petabytes per month and an average, right? 450 into 1024 TBs. That is what the data generated by Google and an average, right? So here we have got some big data tools available. Big data, Hadoop. Okay, we have got Hadoop and Spark. So for huge data storage and huge data processing, we have got Hadoop and Spark, right? They use languages like Scala, they use languages like Python, right? For implementation, where Spark is a very high speed processing. Spark with Python, we say like PySpark, right? Yes. Even in big data. And I list out of the various other applications where Python is mostly preferred, right? And in this, for scientific applications, Python is mostly preferred, right? Like we are using modules like NumPy, CP. NumPy means numerical Python, CP scientific Python, right? Even NASA using Python today for its research and development activities, right? Yes. And for graphical user interface or animation applications, Python is preferred, right? We are using models like PyQt and TK inter module. And apart from this, Python is mostly used for gaming or game development. For game development, right? Yes. Lot of games are getting developed using Python. So single user, multi-user online games, especially for developing games, Python providing a framework called Pygame and PyCore, all right? Yes. And also some 3D rendering libraries like PySoy. For 3D games, right? We have got some 3D rendering libraries like PySoy. Apart from this, Python also used for scheduling tasks. Scheduling tasks, right? Yes. For scheduling tasks, right? Yes. We have got Airflow, right? Python has got Airflow. And for testing or for test cases, right? Python is preferred. And apart from this, Python also used for software development. So Python is, most of the software developers use Python as a support language, right? Yes. And for business applications, Python is one of the best choice for implementing, right, e-commerce websites. And apart from this, one of the hottest application of Python, right, database application. database application, right? Yes. Okay. Yes. Python can connect with any database like MySQL, Oracle, PostgreSQL, SQL Server, right? Yes. For every web application requires a database, right? Without a database, there is no web application, right? And observe, Python is also used for network applications, for networking applications, right? Especially for networking applications. Python is providing a separate framework, right? Python is providing a separate framework like Twisted Python. Okay, it's a framework given by Python for developing network applications, and Python. If data in the database, we are going to query the data, but if data not in the database, we are going to scrap the data. We say like web scraping, right? Web scraping, for scrapping data from different websites. Like I want to extract, harvest the data from different websites. Like I want to extract data from Flipkart or Amazon, right? Yes. For web scraping, we are using a model like URL, right? So next, it is also used for embedded applications. Embedded applications, one of the famous embedded application like Raspberry Pi. Raspberry Pi, which uses Python for its computation, right? Raspberry Pi. Apart from this, Python is also used with other environments, even for CAD applications, 3D CAD applications, right? Yes. And also like Python is used for audio and video applications. Lot of audio and video applications are getting developed using Python. Examples of some of those like Team Player, C Player, some of those, right? And apart from this, Python used for computer vision like face detection, color detection, and object detection, right? Yes. Apart from this, Python is also used for this data analysis, right? Today. Data analysis. Apart from this, it's also used for desktop applications creation, single user applications, console applications, right? Yes. Okay, so these are some applications, right? Mostly used in automations, web development, in big data applications, in game development, right? Next, just I'll take 5 minutes more before I go with how what is the course content will be covered and the scope of Python, the other things, right? And who are using Python today? Who are using Python today? Who are using Python, right? And topmost applications built by using Python. Topmost applications built by using Python. So here, yes, Google using Python for its web search system. Google is one of the best example for Python web applications, right? Yahoo using Python. Next, YouTube using Python for its video sharing service. Yes. Instagram built by using Python. Instagram is built by using Python. The prime reason of for Instagram to choose for Python is its practicality, Python practicality, right? And simple syntaxes and hybrid features. And also Python is used. Uber using Python, right? Uber using Python. The Uber pricing algorithm implemented by using Python, right? They have got some other applications like Quora is developed by using Python, Reddit, Dropbox. Okay. And the famous OTT platform, right? Netflix using Python for its security, automation, and subscription purpose, right? Netflix using Python for its security, automation, and for subscription related things, right? Pinterest using Python. Pinterest is using Python. BitTorrent using Python for its file sharing service. Maya, a powerful 3D animation which uses Python script, right? And MMOG, massively multiplayer online games. Massively multiplayer online games, right? Yes. Apart from this, for Python is also used, right, for military and commercial applications. iRobot. Okay. Apart from this, yeah, for companies like IBM, Seagate, Qualcomm, all this, they use Python for hardware testing, for hardware testing purpose. Okay. Hardware testing purpose, right? Yes. IBM, Seagate, Qualcomm, all this, they use Python for this, right? Yes. And what are the reasons? So Python was introduced 30 years back. Why all of a sudden Python has got great boom? Why the programmers or developers are migrating towards Python from other programming languages? Right. The reasons which makes Python suddenly super popular, right? Yes. First is very less code using, very less coding in Python as compared with other programming languages. Secondly, simple syntaxes given by Python, they look like normal English programming. Sorry, simple English statements, simple syntaxes given by Python. So multi-programming features, hybrid features, right? So as part of our course, I'll be discussing like multi-programming features like procedure oriented with Python, object oriented with Python, modular programming with Python, and scripting with Python, right? Next, interactive mode, right? We can easily interact with Python statement by statement. For example, at the bottom command prompt, if you go right, if you go and just say CMD, sorry, it's if you just type Python here, right, just type Python here, right, and say enter. Python version is displayed, right? Python version and Python interpreter, right? gets open. This three arrow symbol, nothing but Python interpreter. You can type any valid Python statements and interact with it, right? For example, I'm checking it 4 plus 5. It gives the response. X has 10. Y has 4. Here, no need to specify the data types, right? In Python, directly we can work on this. What is X value? What is Y value? What is X plus Y? X minus Y, X into Y, X by Y, it displays all this, right? X into 2, 10 square, 10 into 2, 20, right? 10 square, X 12. This double star indicates what? Power. Single star like multiplication, right? Yes. Yeah. X equal to hello HELLO, right? Print X into 3, prints hello for 3 times, hello into 5 times, right? Yes. Okay. Apart from this wide varieties of applications, right? Yes. Wide varieties of applications. Yes. And many built-in libraries, 89,300 inbuilt modules Python has got for various domains. Very less coding, simple syntaxes, multi-programming, interactive mode, wide varieties of applications, many built-in libraries. Okay. So if you want to see the scope of Python in the current market, or if you want to see in the coming days, right, just observe this in this. Python is the #1 ranked programming language today. Just open Google and say from last popular coding language from last 2-3 years. Observe. Top 10 programming languages. See, observe your top 10 programming. Python stands first, right? Python, JavaScript, Java, right? Yes. Now observe here, right? The most popular programming language, Python, right? Python mostly used today. Most popular programming languages used by top 25 unicorns. Python, right? Python remains the most popular programming language, mostly used. And if you want to see the ranking wise, Python stands the #1 ranked programming with diversified number of applications. Yes. Python stands first. Yes. Second comes Java and other programmings, right? Popularity of programming language ranking 2025. And if you see this, Python is mostly used. See this graph, right? Yes. 31% used. Python 31% used in the industry currently. Java 19%, C++ 9, CS. So what I'm going to discuss as part of this course, right? Yes, just observe like starting from that basic Python, right, to advanced and application oriented modules and web development, the Django framework, and the various other technologies like HTML, CSS, UI technologies, right? HTML, CSS, Bootstrap, JavaScript is. Okay, so starting from what is Python, why Python, history, features, application, advantages, versions, flavors of Python, and Python operations, mode of executions, various data IDs, data types, constants, variables, type conversions, comments, right? Operators in Python, various operators supported by Python. Python IDs, working with different, in real time we use different IDs, right? Like PyCharm ID, Spider ID, Anaconda prompt means like Jupyter Notebook, Eclipse, NetBeans, Atom, VS Code, right? Yes. Flow control statements, right? And looping statements. Strings in Python, string indexing, string slicing, string functions, string methods, string special characters. Collections in Python, lists, tuple sets, dictionaries, and operations on that. Methods in nested structure, right? List indexing, list slicing, list functions, list methods, nested list, list modifications, working with list addresses, right? Similarly for tuples, tuple and sets, set properties, set methods, set functions, all this. Dictionary also the same. Functions, different categories of functions, types of arguments, default, non-default, keyword, non-keyword arguments, right? Yes. And also we discussed like different types of functions: lambda function, filter function, map function, reduce function, zip function, right? Yes. Modules in Python, modules like modular programming, right? So what is a module? What a module consists of? Yes, modules nothing but a collection of functions, right? Collection of functions, classes built in. So different ways of importing, renaming, reloading, right? Yes. Package in Python, and errors and exceptions in Python, right? And file handling in Python, working with different and object-oriented programming concepts in brief, right? Just we have provided the features here, but we will see in brief like object, class, static variable, non-static variable, inheritance, polymorphism, abstraction, encapsulation, right? Garbage collection, garbage collector, del keyword, right? And I'll be discussing different types of modules related to different environments. Python providing modules for different environments, right? Some regular expression modules, database connections, database access, right? Like some modules related to operating system, some related to graphics, some related to databases, some related to data science, some modules related to big data, some modules related to graphics. In this way, different types of modules I'll be discussing. Right. See this database access. I'll be showing you the installation of one database also before I connect Python with database. Physically it should be existing, right? And Python datetime module, operating system module, OS module, advanced concepts, right? Iterator, generator, closer, decorators, right? Yes. And GUI programming, TK inter, right? Yes. Excel workbook and data analytics, introduction to this data science, and pandas model in brief, numpy model in brief, matplotlib model in brief, right? This is what this part one is Python, right? If you come to this, if you want to go for web development, Python web development, right? We need to update with framework like Django framework. Django framework in brief, right? Introduction, web frameworks, Django installation, Django project architecture, application creations, Django views, templates. Okay, Django admin, Django models, advanced concepts, right? Yes. And UI technologies like HTML, CSS, Bootstrap, JavaScript, MySQL will be discussed, right? Yes. So here, every session is video recorded. You will be getting the recorded videos of the session that day itself. Notes will be provided, soft copy of the notes. And some assignments tasks will be provided. Getting the output is not the criteria, but you need to build the code, right? So I'll be saying step by step, right? It's not like bringing some code and just that won't happen. I'll be typing each and every statement. Yes. Python core, advanced and application oriented modules like nearly 70 hours I'm going to spend on this Python. Plus, if you people go for UI technologies and like HTML, I'll be discussing in brief, CSS, JavaScript. And apart from this, Django web applications creations. So here, MBT architecture will be discussing that nearly 20 applications creations. 20 applications you'll be doing parallelly along with me simultaneously plus project. So only for Python it is 5K. It's an offer batch. For UI technology, Django, HTML, CSS, Bootstrap, all is right. It is 5K. It's an offer given. So combo if you take within 9K, you can write. Fine. Yeah, any queries you have got related to this Python course? So if you take as a combo, so if you see in the chart panel, the details are provided in the chart panel, right? Yes. Okay. Any queries from your side, anyone? So tomorrow also you can attend the session, right? Same time using the same link to see more on this Python, right? Yes. Coding wise, how it looks, I'll be showing you some example codes, right? Right. Fine. Any queries from your side, anyone? Right? Hello?
Hi, sir.
Yes.
Are we going to cover any unit testing or automation testing, like a brief idea, like how can we do it in real time? To get a high level idea.
So these are the course structure I showed, right? What all the things I'm going to cover. So actually Python used for different environments, right? So for networking, for testing, for big data, for data science within this AWS, robotics, right? So I said I'll be discussing some of these modules, right? So uh, any specific oriented like uh, any domain specific, right? If you're from any domain, right? See how to explore the modules, data science related modules or big data related modules, right? How to get help on the modules, how to get the syntax of a particular functionality. So how to dig into a model, everything will be learning as part. So tomorrow you can just explore any of your domain specific models, right? So yes. So the thing whatever I showed you that I'll be discussing, right? Yes.
Thank
Yeah. Any other queries, right? So and also I said also I'll show you like how to create our own modules. Okay.
you.
So okay, tomorrow also you can ask your queries still if you've got any. So if I'm done with this, right? If I'm done with the queries, I'll sign off for now. Meet you tomorrow, same time. So follow the same link, right? Yes. Thank you all for your time. Thank you. Yes.
Thank you.